It'll probably turn into a question, but it probably start as a comment. Helen, I just wanted to commend you because it's so much easier to shy away from what you don't start out understanding, especially when only 15% of your client base is, you know, interested in plan giving. And I see so many, I'm from the for-profit side too, but my clients are the charities and not the donors. And a lot of my colleagues on the for-profit side, or, you know, they'll just push away from it and say, you know, it's just such a small part of what I do, and so rather than get involved to bolster that part of their business, they won't justify it for the time and the expense. So I really want to commend you for that. And but that does, I think, lead into part of that. What we're trying to answer today is how do we get those people to swing that pendulum to that other side and make that investment on the both in time and money. I think that's part of the problem.
I think the question then is what do we need to know as people who are featuring our local council to advisors? What would be motivational to get them to come, since the technical information is so readily available in other places? What would be things that would attract them?
That's an interesting question. I think it also depends on the practice. I mean, I guess I'll be very down and dirty here. If you're managing money and someone decides to give $500,000 to charity as a lifetime gift, what's just happened?
Right.
You know, and for us, we're certified financial planners. We look at the entire picture, so that's not the only driving motivation. But for many registered investment advisors who only manage money, that's a problem. I think that so what I'm saying is the whole world is not necessarily open to it. But for those of us who are, I'll speak to that. I think that having, I was mentioning earlier, and Sally said that they had a meeting where we could get together. Maybe it's a planned thing twice a year, so you know it's on your calendar. And it's a time to learn about what's new in charitable giving, because I don't know if what I'm doing is new, because I'm reading it out of publications, and I'm assuming it is, but I don't know. And then a way for the advisors to speak to each other and give ideas of what they've done and what they're thinking about. And it also, I think, helps with the charity, whoever is in that room as well, to introduce themselves to us. I happen to have met Eileen Savage, who is with the IU Foundation, and I've had a few clients who wanted to give in certain respects, and I just had one client give the largest the largest scholarship money ever for their biology department. And the thing was, he had an interest in academia, he had an interest in IU, he didn't know how to do it, and I knew her, and we brought her in, and she talked about it. So I think it's those connections to your charities, to us, that's really important, because we hear it from our clients.
Jeff?
Helen, I'll get to you, Sal.
No, it's okay.
But Helen, something that you said, and I want to make sure that I got it. Ironically, the panel that was just before you was young professionals in development, and they
all people that I knew. I ran into them.
There you go. I know. I think you probably knew that.
And I said, "You're leaving, and I'm coming."
But what I heard is exactly the same thing that you said. I don't need my local council because technical resources, I can get it all online.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure I heard what you said correctly. Did you say that the networking that you were getting out of PPP just wasn't worth it to justify your membership? That's what I wrote.
I'll tell you what it was. The networking amongst the charitable organizations was meeting the different people. Although I will say it was somewhat intimidating because you all know each other and I don't know you, and you're all friends, and I get it because I do the same thing at my meetings, and you're all friends, so it is somewhat intimidating, although I'm not intimidated easily, others maybe more so. To walk into a room, not really know very many people, and everybody knows each other. But that's a little bit of an aside. I think that the meeting of the charities was important. From the standpoint of meeting the other advisors, there wasn't really a way of knowing who was who at these meetings. And the advisors that I did meet were more interested in meeting you all, the charities, because they wanted to provide the legal or the accounting or whatever it was that they did, and less interested in talking to me about what they were doing with their clients. So that together, I think, created that situation. So it wasn't that it was not worthwhile, it's just I had to weigh that in relationship
Right.
to what I was getting out of it.
And if I may ask, where are you getting that advisor camaraderie now?
Actually, because of the position of our company nationally, there are small groups of advisors that do what we do at our level, and we do get together and we talk about different things. So it's not really locally, it's more national.
Is it a formal association or is it more a study
No,
group?
it's just more advisors who do what I do.
Okay, I'll get you my card later.